Welcome to the session on interview questions, specifically on C aptitude. In this section, we are going to look at loops, the most interesting question in loops area. So let's go on with the first question like the way we did in the other sessions. So we have a program here. You have to guess the output and then we'll see if it is correct and we'll explain the concept behind it. So let's look at this. I is 51 while if I equal to 2, break I equal to I minus 2, print dream. So you can guess your answer now. What would be the output on the screen, right? So here, if you look at it, I is 51 while so 51 is greater than 0 or is not equal to 0. So it enters the loop I equal to 2. So the value of 2 gets assigned to I and then it breaks from the loop, right? Because I equal to 2, it is not a comparison, it's an assignment. So it is true. So it breaks from the loop. Actually, nothing gets printed. Okay, so there is no output. So let's get on with the second question here. Int a equal to 5, right? And then you have a variable I is 1, I less than or equal to 10 plus I. If I equal to a, then break the loop. So what happens here? So you have a value starting from 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 get printed. Given when I is a, it will break. So after that, it won't print. So that's the output. Next question, integer a equal to 1. While a minus minus greater than or equal to 1. And then again, while a minus minus greater than or equal to 0, printf percentage %da. So you can pause here, guess the answer, what would be printed on the screen. Okay. Now we'll discuss the answer. A is 1, a minus minus. So for the current evaluation, the value of a stays as 1. So 1 is greater than or equal to 1. That's true. And the value of a now gets reduced to 0, right? So it goes to the second while a minus minus. So 0 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, that is also true. And the value of a becomes minus 1. And if you print a, the value would be minus 1. So let's get on with the next question. Integer a is 1. For I is 1, I less than or equal to 3 plus I. For j equal to 1, j less than or equal to 2 plus j. If j equal to a, continue. And then printf percentage %di. So what is the output for this program? You can pause the video here, work out the output, and let's compare the answers. Okay, so let's get on with the answers now. So I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 3 plus I. So the loop runs 3 times and j loop runs 2 times. So now when j equal to a, when j is 1, it is going to skip that, right? Continue means it's go for the next iteration, right? And then it is printing the value of I, not j. So what happens? For the first loop, it will print 1. Second time it comes in, it will print 2. Third time it comes into the loop, it prints 3. So that is the answer for this. So for every time in this one loop, first the j equal to 1, that value gets skipped. So that's why you have 1, 2 and 3. Let's get on to the next question. A equal to 5. For I is 1, I less than or equal to 10 plus a. If I equal to a, continue. Printf percentage %di. Again, this is very popular question in the interviews. So pause the video here, guess your answer, and then we'll discuss the answers. Okay, so let's get on with the answer. The answer here is 1 to 10. It will print all the numbers except for 5, because when it is 5, it will skip the condition I equal to a would be true. So it will continue through the next element. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be the answer. Next question. How many times would the printf execute? So if you look at it, I loop is running for 30 times, j loop is running for 20 times. They're not asking you to display what is going to be the output, right? The question asked us how many times would printf execute? So what is your answer? You can pause, think about your answer. Okay, so now we'll discuss the answer. You shouldn't be counting the number of times printf is happening. Basically 30 into 20, right, which is 600. 600 times the loop would execute. So now these are during the technical interviews, you usually get asked these questions, right? How can you implement loops without using for, while, do while, go to statements? So how do you do it? So using recursion. So recursion is a concept where the function calls itself. So using recursion, you can automatically implement loops. This is very, very, very important. Almost out of 10 interviews, you would get this question in 8 interviews. Second one, write a C program to print something on the screen without using a semicolon. As you know, every statement in C expression ends with a semicolon, right? So how would you write a C program to print something on the screen without using semicolon? Again, think about the answer, work for a couple of minutes, and then let's discuss the answer. Okay, so I'll explain the answer now. Solution is something like this. You can use a while loop. Inside the while loop, you can have printf hello world. Printf would return the number of characters printed on the screen. So printf would return 11 here. So 11 is not greater than 100. So while would come out of it. Given that it's a while loop, you don't need a semicolon like this. So you can write the program like this. So this doesn't have any semicolon, but still you're able to print something on the screen. Second question, how to print number from 1 to 100 without using conditional operators, right? Or relational operators. So relational operators are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, right? How can you write a program to print 1 to 100 without this comparison? You can pause the video, think about your answer, and then we'll discuss the answer here. Okay, we'll discuss the answer. So here is the answer. So I is 0 initially, while 100 minus I plus plus, right? And then so this way it will be true. Every time the value of I will increase, eventually it will hit 0 at some point, right? When it hits 0, the answer is going to be, it will come out of the loop. You're printing the value of I. So given that you are doing a post increment, when it does a print, for the first time it will print 1, second time 2, third time 3. So again, this is a very, very interesting question which is usually asked. You have not used any conditional or relational operators here. So these are some of the most interesting questions that are usually asked in the interviews. Hope you enjoyed the session. Go back, look at the answers again, because especially the last 3 questions that we discussed are usually repeated in interviews, right? So you can go back to this one. If you have any questions or comments, right, you can feel free to add it in the comment section. We'll discuss that. Otherwise, right, if you want to understand it more, you can take the same questions, type it on Python Tutor, see line by line execution to see how it works as well. That would help. Thanks everyone.